It's the 2K.
With the Diesel and the Jet, this is Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll watch the visiting squad as they go up against the...
Portland playing for the home crowd again tonight. They have been riding the bottom end of the middle of the Western Conference. 11th place right now.
You know, time is running low. The season is winding down, Kevin. I mean, if they're going to get anything done, they've got to get it done pronto, right now.
And they should never have waited this long. It's an almost impossible position they're in. But it's not hopeless. Like you said, time is running low, but it hasn't run out.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the floor for Portland. Houdini is out there with Lee. Then there's Iguodala. Then it's Taj Gibson. And it's Plumlee in at the center. Here's Houdini coming off a solid outing against Miami. Shot clock at 6. And a wide open look for Iguodala. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Iguodala's got his first bucket of the night. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. From the wing, and it's good off the glass. Houdini's got his second basket of the night.
Off to a nice start here. They've hit all three from the field.
That's tipped, and now Portland on the break. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket, and don't let them set up the defense.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Rose, no good. And Portland with the ball. They've got an 8-0 run.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back. You could see him back in that MVP form.
And here are the Trailblazers now. For Portland, they won their last contest, that game against Miami.
And the way they attacked the basket in that game was unreal. I mean, after a while, the defenders seemed to just wave the white flag.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, that's what will happen when a team continues to attack the basket and come away with layups. The defense tends to get demoralized and deflated. 5 buckets without a miss. That's a fantastic start.
Trailblazers timeout.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. Defeated by the Pacers in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, they were in a funk from the field in that game. Credit the defense, though, because even when they got open looks, no rhythm to knock them down.
Hey, guys, hey, every team has a night like that on occasion. It happens. Hey, we call them gong games. You just want to hit the gong, forget about them, and move on.
Now here's Noel. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. There's a screen by Noel. Just 5 on the clock. On its way from Neal for 2, and that misses badly. Air ball. Here's Houdini. He's covered by Rose. Here's Freeman. And Portland again with the bucket.
Oh, terrific move there. I think he may need to check those ankles. He's just left the defender on the ground.
That is a highlight and a half, guys, or a highlight plus. Anytime you shake a guy out of his shoes like that, it's going to make the rounds for sure.
Portland with the ball. Portland making their last shot. Here's Noel. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. Portland leading by 12. Here's Houdini. He's got 10. The tray. Green with the block. Outside Rose. On its way from Neal for two. And nothing but care on that one. And stolen by Harris. Green dishes to Noel. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. For Portland, they've gotten 6 or 7 shots to fall in the first quarter. They're off and running. Gibson with the screen on Rose. Freeman. Boom! He shoots it straight down.
And it's like raining buckets right now. I wonder if this is the early stages of a blowout.
Well, we got to be careful. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it has been pretty ugly so far, no doubt about that.
And he clearly doesn't like what's going on out there right now.
Would you? I mean, how could he like what's happening? Really had to take a time out there and try to figure out a way to derail their momentum.
A different look now for Portland. Bargnani has checked in for Nerlens Noel. Etuan Moore comes in for Gary Neal. And Marcus Smart is subbed in for Rose. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot two.
That's his first personal foul.
Marcus Smart was drafted to the Celtics as their future point guard. He came in with a lot of work to do and a skill set that people really like. But his first season, Clark, was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was. He was an off guard in high school and in his first year of college as well. Really only played full-time at the point the year before he was drafted.
Williams, who's checked in for Portland. Livingston comes in for Houdini.
Man, I don't know what happened right there. He just basically walked out of bounds.
A different look now for Portland. Ryan Owens, he's checked in for Plumlee. Gibson comes in for Marvin Williams. And Houdini subbed in for Sean Livingston. And Harris wide open. He shoots. Kept alive on the wing, Harris. Here's Smart. Missed it. Even after all those chances.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Yeah, nothing major, not a huge advantage, but certainly a good sign for them going forward.
And that one's good.
A lot of work to do on his ball handling and passing. His shooting, I think, exceeded some people's expectations. 37% from the field last year was subpar, but his 34% accuracy from three was solid. He finally started going straight up on his jumper instead of leaning in, and his release looked money.
And Portland making a change here. Snell's checked in. Here's Houdini. He's got 15. Fires for three, and another three for Portland.
Another bucket added to the lead. They've been the better team in every facet.
And in my opinion, you get extra bonus.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. Portland guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Not much room to operate offensively. The defense has been stifling through the first.
Greg, they haven't given up a lot of easy chances at all.
Tony Snell is out there with Draymond Green. Then there's Etuan Moore. Then it's Bargnani. And it's Smart in at the point. That's the group on the floor for Portland. Clock at 6. From deep. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. Livingston's got the first basket of the second quarter for Portland. Kicks it to Moore. Pass to Smart. Feeds it to Bargnani. It's stolen by Davis. Here is Livingston. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Shot from 12, and he hits the jump shot. Livingston's got 5 points in the quarter. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Portland.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Smart passes to Snell. No good from Bargnani. Portland leading by 23. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And Davis puts it in. Davis has got his first points of the night.
Guys, he's having a ball out there. I mean, we knew going in that he'd have an advantage on the glass, but I didn't think he could be this dominant. What a difference.
Tell you what, man, it looks as though the light is officially gone on for Ed Davis. He drifted around a bit over his first 5 seasons, but he made real strides last year.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Noel's checked in for Draymond Green. Harris comes in for Tony Snell. Gary Neal's checked in for Ejuan Moore. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Marcus Smart. Portland also making some changes. Ryan Hollins, he's checked in for Davis. Iguodala comes in for Marvin Williams. And Houdini subbed in for Sean Livingston. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Here's Bargnani, offensive rebound. Rose, and Gibson sends it back.
Foul.
The Trailblazers have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. And he can't get the first one.
Tobias Harris.
And for Tobias Harris, a resurgence of sorts last season, Clark, especially from behind the arc, where he shot a career-high 36%.
You know, he'd only hit 25% from 3 the year before, Kevin. So, yeah, a monster improvement in accuracy from long range.
For Portland, they've gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter. 0 for 5. And it's Rose missing.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
And Bargnani sends it back. And here's Iguodala outside. And another 3 for Portland.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
And here's Rose outside. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
And getting back to Harris, there's just so much to like about his game. He lives in the gym, has a tremendous feel for the game, and he knows how to maximize his production within those athletic limitations.
Clock is at 3. Freeman. Hollins kicks to Lee. Here's Freeman. Drills the three-pointer. Houdini's got 21 in the game.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks.
You know, the thing about Harris is he's a combo forward, extremely versatile. At 6'8", he struggles with size against the better power forward, and he lacks the athleticism of the better small forward. So to get the most out of him, you have to put him in the right matchups. He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Offensive rebound, and that one's good. Hollins.
Tell you what, you look at this run they're on, and you've got to give a lot of credit to their effort on the glass.
And that just goes to show what can happen if you're not putting bodies on bodies when the shot goes up.
Knocked loose. And now Portland on the break. Iguodala's running.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
They have been more dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
3 on the clock. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Draymond Green, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. And Portland with the change here, too. Plumlee, he's checked in for Ryan Hollins. Outside Rose. Portland, no good that time either.
I think it's going to be tough for them to trim this deficit if he keeps missing those kinds of shots, Kevin. I mean, they need his points.
Here's Freeman, and Portland again with the bucket.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Harris against Iguodala. Harris outside. That's tipped. Oh, and here comes Iguodala all alone. Lays it in off the breakaway. Iguodala's got his third basket of the night. Rose. And so a pretty lopsided game.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome, everyone. We'll be taking a look back at what was clearly a one-sided first half of action. Ernie Johnson.